Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Myers. It's a deck from 1989, at least this printing was. Didn't find a website for it, but there's the information if you'd like it. Supportive Oracle Cards, Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. It's Ann with an E. I did see some websites for Ann, or Sandra, excuse me. Hay House websites. There they are. Feel free to freeze frame if you want any of that information, if I can get it close enough. There we go. All right. What do we have for Taurus? No, all right. So I feel like this is good, but there's some rough cards here. So I'm like, I keep feeling that this is good. So we'll see. All right, so the more I'm feeling this, I do feel like this is good. You may not like it at first. You may not like it because I don't think you have control here, and that's not a really good feeling. I'm watching something play out. I'm stuck in this spot where I'm just like like I'm watching a show play out, and I'm like, it's like, or like you're watching a horror movie, and you're like saying, "Don't go in that room," and then it's a movie, it's going to happen the way it's going to happen. But that's how this feels. Like I'm watching a movie and I'm yelling at the movie, "Don't go in that room!" And there they go. They're done. That's how this feels, which is not a good feeling, especially when it's in your actual life, right? Yeah. Because I'm getting like the Nine of Wands. I don't want to give up on this situation. I'm holding my ground. I'm staying where I'm staying. But it feels like the situation is falling apart pretty quickly. I'm getting hiccups with that even. When it happens, I'm not liking it. And it's not expected. I'm also getting the Tower over here. Can we get a little bit more on the Tower? Because the energy's like, feels very unstable, which the Tower energy is unstable. It does feel very unstable, actually. But this is at somebody else's hands, somebody else's handiwork. Somebody else is calling these shots, and it doesn't feel like you have any control over it. The Devil card, which is the 15 of Arcana, and the 10 of Pentacles. While this is falling in, it's not really reversible. This is weird. This is the challenge card. It's the Queen of Wands, Queen of Fire, Queen of Staves, all the same. Somebody's changing the whole outlook of the situation. They're doing what they want. They set this up. They decided what they want, and they made actions, took actions. They created a schism. They created emotion, cause and effect. It's all in somebody else's hands. Not a fan. You're not a fan. Don't like it. I don't like things falling apart. I don't like the choices that were made. I didn't have any say over these choices. I'm just watching the after effect. I'm watching the aftermath play out. The thing is, whatever happened, it's kind of like somebody made their choice. Then I dropped the card, which is ironic because after they made their choice, it only got so far, and then fate said, "Oh, is that a choice you want to make? Well, here's a little side ball, or here's a little curveball for you." And smack. This isn't going where they thought it was going to go. I'm going to use an analogy. This is the one that popped in my head, so I'm going to roll with it. This does not have to be relationship, just to be fair, but this is what I'm getting. I'll even do one with business in a second because I feel guilty about using this one. This is when maybe you're in a relationship with somebody, and then they leave you for somebody else, and then that person's like, "I don't want to be in this relationship." So they leave you for somebody else, and the person they left you for says, "You know what? No, I liked it better when you weren't attainable. And now that you are attainable, I don't want you." So it's kind of like, they're like, "Well, I don't want to be with you, Taurus. I want to be with that person, so I'm leaving you for them." Then that person says, "Nope, don't want it." That might happen here. Another situation is like, you have somebody who works with you. They don't want to work with you anymore, so they go work with somebody else. That person doesn't like them. It is very difficult for them to deal with, but they made their choice and they can't get out of it. So now they're stuck working with somebody else, and now they're regretting that choice. It's something like that. Whatever's going on here, it doesn't pay off for the situation. Whoever it is, whatever choice they made, it's not paying off to their benefit. Because what I'm getting is they're making choices and something comes in and locks them into the same problem. They didn't get away with anything. They made a choice to get out of it, but then it doesn't, nothing corrects. The hanged man pops in. It doesn't correct. But the thing is, they're locked into it with the Four of Wands is what I'm getting. There's a 4 there. They're stuck. They're stuck. They're stuck, and that's that. Whatever they chose, they did it, and now they're stuck with it. This is stressful for you, but this is meant to move you on from the situation. Whatever the situation is, it should be releasing you from it. It feels like somebody stole something from you is what I'm getting, but this is actually good because it's kind of like the situation did need to move on. If this energy wasn't loyal to you, it needs to move on. You need something loyal to you, whatever it is, whoever it is. You got the Ace of Pentacles coming in with the 9 of Swords, so I don't know if we like that, but it seems like this is good, but let me just get a clarification on it before we go too far. 7 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Major Arcana is the Wheel. So the wheel will turn for you, but not just yet. That's because the 7 of Pentacles and the Wheel, that's kind of a contradiction. Because the 7 of Pentacles is like things aren't ready to move forward yet. But the Wheel is like things are changing whether we like it or not. So it's kind of like a contradiction in terms. This is just the first step in this situation. Your energy has to settle first, but there's going to be more changes coming up for you. I feel like this reading is trying to warn you. It's like, don't get too comfortable with the changes because more changes are about to come. Over the next 3 months, you're going to have like 5 different changes. 5? Like 5 different changes. All right, I'm just rolling with it. Take it with a grain of salt. Do what you got to do with it. Because they're saying, if you're aware of it, if you keep expecting things to keep changing, you won't solidify with anything. And you'll do better with it. Not Capricorn, you're a Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus, you like dependability. A lot of changes. I don't know. I wouldn't say Taurus was big on change anyway. I could be wrong. You can let me know. But I don't think Taurus is big on change anyway. Especially when you have constant changes. The Wheel. Yeah, the 7 of Pentacles with the Wheel. Because I feel like things just keep changing. It just starts to become the norm, which you're going to hate. You're going to hate that. It's going to stop over the next 3 months. I feel like there's like five changes over the next 3 months. If you're expecting it and you realize there is an end to it, you'll be fine. I feel like for the next 3 months, it's going to keep happening. You're going to hate it. I'm sorry. I just don't see you going, oh, yay, another change. I don't see it happening. I just don't. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, cool. If you keep yourself in the right mindset, you'll be fine. The way you'll know when the changes are over, a good 2 months will pass. I feel like for a lot of you, whatever season you're in, like when I'm recording this, it's winter. But I would say if you're watching this now while it's still winter, by the time it's summer, it'll be over, definitely. So whenever you're watching, just think of that season a good 3 months out, and it'll pass, whatever it is. When that passes, because it seems like a lot, I just feel like it makes a big difference. If you're not expecting it to solidify, I feel like you do better. Like if you're kind of like, yeah, this is screwed up, and it's going to be screwed up for a few months, still hate it, but, at least I'm not trying to create a stability, and you're not trying to create a base or a foundation on something that you know is not stable. You're not going to find like a sandy beach and try to make a stable foundation for a house. You're like, that's sandy beach. That's not a good place to do that. I need to find a better spot. I need to find a rocky place or something with more solid ground so I could actually build a foundation. Because if I'm going to build a house, I expect it to stay. 17. Star card. And what's the other one? There's something else coming in. What is it? Earth? Is that the 4? What do you want? Okay. So the Star card is a very vocal card usually, in my opinion. But it's kind of like, I need to kind of think out where I want things to be. Things are going to be in flux for about 3 months. While this is happening, when the dust settles, think of it that way. When the dust settles, and you were allowed to change things the way you wanted them to, realizing things will change. So when the dust settles, if everything changed, if all the people changed, let's do that. If all the people changed, and even the surroundings, what would you want to replace it with? So if, for example, if you have a job and you work with 5 people, all the 5 people are going to be leaving, and the job is going to be a whole different job. That's why the 5 people are leaving. So if you were going to leave this job and you had to do a whole new job, you had to, what job would you want to go into? How far would you want that to be from your house? What hours would you want to work? What type of people would you want to work with? And not just personality-wise, but like you know, what type of people would you like? Whatever works for you. Think of it that way. Because I feel like if you start looking at it in that direction, I just feel like this goes easier for you. Again, I don't see you going, oh, more change? Ah, yay! No, I don't see that. I don't see that. I just don't. But like knowing that there's going to be an end to it, that's helpful. Realigning things kind of like, well, if things are going to go to crap, where would I want to be? And maybe start walking that direction. I feel like especially for those of you that this is a job situation and things are just cuckoo, if they're just cuckoo at your job situation, if you start thinking to yourself, you know, this isn't that great right here and it just is not improving in my opinion, this is the time to make a change. If I'm going to make that change, where do I really want to be? You know what I'm saying? That type of energy. Because you might end up doing that. In fact, in 3 months, that may be why it stops in 3 months. Because you're like, you know what? This is just screw up after screw up after screw up. I'm done. What do I need to do to go somewhere else? That might be why. That might be why that flux stops. Because you're like, you know what? I'm getting up and I'm getting out because I'm sick of it. Is that it? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.